Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host and founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation. Thanks for joining us. We are back. We'll get into what happened last week in just a moment because we really have to take care of some business stuff because if we don't now, I will forget. So first, thank you to John Gaston and Area 52 Media Group for producing our show. If you want to do your own show, get in touch with John. He's awesome to work with. Really. Also, our sponsors, Delynn Gaston with the mortgage firm, Anything Mortgages. I tell you every week she's the best. She has so much experience and she is just so kind and can help walk you through anything, ask any questions. She's the gal to go to. And of course, Tammy White Galleries and Custom Framing. Thank you to all our sponsors and our producer. So, also just another little bit of business. Our support groups for May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, is the next one, and Spring Hill is the 13th at the NAMI Hernando office, and the 21st at the Oasis Coffee Spot bookstore. They're free to attend. You don't have to pre-register. You can just show up. They are peer-to-peer support groups. The facilitators are lost survivors also. I actually facilitate the one in Newport Richey, and I co-facilitate with Kathy Goodman the support group in Spring Hill. It's a safe environment. Everybody understands, what you're dealing with, even though we may be on, different parts of the journey. We're all on the same journey. And, what talks about and happens there stays within our groups. So it's a safe place to land. So, like I said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And going into May, like I said, last week's show was a rerun because I had to take that week off to take care of my mental health. It was, and it came upon me. I didn't see it coming. I mean, it wasn't really bad. It wasn't bad. It was just, we've been going through the book, and on our Facebook page, I did a grief support series for every day for the month of April. And it was for the 10th anniversary of us losing Bobby to suicide. January, April 30th was the day that we celebrated his life 10 years ago. And our cat, that's a picture of him with our cat, Max. Max was probably only like 4 or 5 months old there. And Max is not doing well. And he's the last cat that Bobby and I had together. And I really, really thought I was going to lose him last week. And the day that we would have normally taped was the 30th. And I just couldn't do it. I was just mentally just wasn't there. Max is still here with us. I don't know how he's going downhill, but it's probably, just a matter of time. But we got through the week, and what actually really kind of ended up helping, and it came up, and I knew it was kind of coming up, but then I kind of forgot about it just because of the month of April. So my friends out at Pasco County Parks and Rec, they on Saturday, May 2nd, they had their 5th annual Stomp Out Suicide. And Kim and Deanna, it's kind of hard to tell in that picture because it's a long ways away because we wanted to get the whole sign in, but that's a picture of Kim and me and Deanna. we've had them on the show before. 5 years ago, they lost one of their team members to suicide, and they decided, oh, there we go. Oh, my producer is so awesome. So we we kind of partnered with them and helped them get started with their events to help their team members in the community on the east side of the county, because our county is ginormous. So it's working out like super, super great, because now their event is in May for Mental Health Awareness Month, and ours is in September for suicide prevention. And then our walk on the west side of the county will be in November, on November 7th. So we've got both sides of the county covered, and it was just great being over with them Saturday, because it is a drive. I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning to drive over to the east side of the county to be there at 6:30. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous state park over there. It's Withlacoochee River Park, I think is what it is. It's nice, and the drive really isn't that bad. It's basically a straight shot. But during the event, I don't know, we were like 3/4 of the way through the event, met some really nice people, and possibly some sponsors for Art for Hope. Kim came up to me and she says, Tammy, I need you to come with me. And I'm like, okay. So I just followed her, and we end up at where the DJ is. And I'm like, what is going on here? And Deanna's up there. And from their event, they donated $1,000 to the Bobby White Foundation. I couldn't even hardly talk. And even Kim said afterwards, she said, I had a hard time talking, because it's so emotional for us. I just love those girls so much for what, they're doing for themselves and for, their coworkers and the community on that side of the county. So what they have started to do, and they've done it every year. It's been a little bit different. So now through the whole month of May, Pasco County Parks and Recs has events going on, and there's the list of events and the dates, and that you can use that QR code to, if you're local, you want to sign up for them. So coming up, we got May 9th. Okay, that'll be done on the 14th in Wesley Chapel Rec. Soul line dancing. Oh, they're having kitten yoga again too on May 16th. Ooh, I may have to go do that one. My neighbor wouldn't let me do it last year. She said I couldn't go over there. So they have events going on all through the month of May, and it's throughout the county. It's not just on the east side of the county. So a lot of the first part of it, well, that'll be done and over with by the time we are. So let's see. We've got at Starkey Park, which is right here. Sasquatch Trail reopening, presented by Pasco NAMI. I knew you were going to do that. My producer's in the background going, oh, heck yeah. He's a big Sasquatch Bigfoot person. I just knew that was coming. It's so funny. And then what are we doing? It looks like they're having something for the veterans. Hooks and Heroes, outdoor adventures for veterans at Catches Waterfront Grill. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Then they're having a puppy meditation in Holiday. Splash the Stigma movie at Dade City Splash Pad. It's in Dade City, so that's kind of like in the center, but closer. That's on the other side of the county. So they have a whole lot of things going on throughout the whole county for the month of May for Mental Health Awareness Month. I am so proud of what these girls and their team have put together. Oh, and darn it, I even got a pair of socks for their 5th annual thing. I'll show it to you on next week's show. I was like, oh, don't forget to pull those out. I can't get up and go get them. So anyway, so that really kind of helped me at the end of the week, just knowing that, even though I can still have hard times too and don't know when they're coming, but when I am together with people like Kim, Indiana, and the people that attended this walk run, that we're helping people and we're doing good, and people really, really appreciated it. It was a nice morning, and that kind of helped me get me out of that funk a little bit. With mostly now it's okay, April's gone, let's just reset. But it's dealing with our cat now and knowing what is coming. But my biggest thing last week was just don't die on that day. Just I can't handle that. And he didn't. He's still alive. So, and he's hanging in there. So we're gonna get back to, since we missed last week, our book, When Your Soulmate Dies. You can get this on Dr. Wolfelt's website, the Center for Loss and Life Transitions. We're almost done with it. So the last one we did, we were talking about developing your new self-identity. There's the bookstore. He's got a lot of books on there that are very, very helpful. For parents who have lost children, losing your parents. I've seen recently adult children who have recently lost their parents to suicide. And now this book here, this isn't just for, say, spouses and partners. A soulmate can be a friend, a sibling, grandmother. It's a soulmate isn't just limited to partners. It's that special connection that you have with that person. So now we're going to the part you working through trying to figure out your new self-identity, because, like for me, almost 30 years of my life, I was Bobby's wife. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't. Now I am single. But the majority of my life, I was married, whether it was to Bobby or to my first husband, Michael. And, you develop your identity not only as an individual, but as a couple when you're together for such a long period of time. And that's really, really hard and really hard work, because it mostly involves you, but you know what? It even involves the people around you, your coworkers, your friends, your family, because all that changes. But put in the work, you can get through it, get through that part of the journey. So then comes the search for meaning. It's, what does this life mean now? My meaning and purpose for many years was our little family, which basically consisted of Bobby and I and our animals. That's gone. Not the animals. but a big portion of what my purpose was. And for me, it was a little bit different because, you know, he was diagnosed with MS even prior to us getting married. And that was a part of our life. Me taking care of him when he would have exacerbations. I was a caretaker. And now it's like a whole piece of your meaning and purpose that you've lived for so long is just ripped away. But in time, and it's not going to be this for everybody, because this is an extremely, extremely difficult journey, and you have to be able to go through the hard things and be able to come out on the other side so that you can be a whole person again. Some people will end up doing, work similar to me. This is what became my purpose and my meaning after losing Bobby, was to help others and to try and break the stigma, because it was so ingrained even in my own family, where my sister-in-law lied to me about her husband, Bobby's brother, attempting to take his life. That's kind of what fueled the fire, because we were kept in the dark. Now, again, and I've said this, many times, there was no guarantee that if I had this information that it would have made a difference in our outcome. No guarantee. But I didn't get the opportunity because I was missing information that everybody else knew except for Bobby and I, and of course the younger ones. So that, I think, is really, and I just kind of came to that realization that that's what fueled the fire for me to do this, because nobody talks about it. And it really is being silent that is killing people. We have to be able to talk about it. We have to not be afraid of it. Doing this kind of work is not going to be for everybody, but you can still help others in different ways that is, good for you and doesn't put you at risk, because, that's the thing. You have to be careful as to how I have to be careful as to how much I do all the time when it comes to foundation work. And when it gets too much, I have to pull back. That's why the month of April, I pulled back. I had a couple people reach out to me just to make sure that I was okay. My neighbor, she checks in on me every day. Even on the 30th, she'll call certain days, and first thing out of her mouth is wellness check. And it's nice to have people like that in your corner, because you need that. Especially if there are times when you start to withdraw, because that's when it's easier to get in a lot more trouble in your head, is when you like totally withdraw. I didn't totally withdraw. I didn't go to the majority of the networking meetings that I normally went to. I did facilitate the support group that I'm in charge of. I didn't go to the support group that I co-facilitated, primarily because that fell on the anniversary date of Bobby's death. So you have to know when to do these things, and you will. You'll know, but you have to do it, and that's the hardest thing, is knowing and actually doing it. But anyways, this meaning thing, a lot of people go through questions like, what do I have to live for now? What does life mean? And one question that he poses here that a lot of people think of, why is there this soulmate thing when the majority of the time, or probably all the time, it ends in devastation? Why? So there's a lot of whys. And you know what? We have to reconcile with ourselves that we're not going to have the answers. Probably the majority of the time. We're just not. So we have to, like with your self identity, reinvent ourselves, rechannel our lives. But like with all of this that we're doing, every step of the way, it takes time and it takes patience with ourselves. A lot of people of faith start questioning their faith and God, and that's okay. One of the people that he interviews in this book, she says that it's normal to be really angry with God. He can take it and he gets it. If that's your belief, believe it. Um, at some point, down the road, and it could be years. I mean, I'm still trying to figure things out, even though, you know, I've been doing this for a little bit. Um, I don't know how to say this. It's hard because, you know, you probably had a life that you loved, and that's no more. It's been destroyed. It's gone in a poof. So how do you go about it? One thing is to remember to be patient with yourself. Do something that makes you feel good. Little things. Have a cup of tea. Go for a walk. You can journal. You can meditate. Don't try and take on big tasks at first. A bunch of little ones will grow into something bigger down the road. Talk to your person. I talk to Bobby all the time. And I tell you, even when I was driving out to the event on Saturday, I cannot. I see it over here and it's bad, the building that is going on. But when I was driving over to Dade City, over to the park, like I said, it's straight shot down 54, or no, 52. Straight shot. And 52 changes into, I think, Clinton Avenue. And on both sides of the road, there's these ginormous 2-story houses that seem like they're only like 8 or 10 feet apart and just packed one on top of another in old farm fields. And when I see stuff like that, I always talk to Bobby about it because he was a land surveyor. And so talk to your people about what's happening. Like I said, I talk to him all the time about what's happening, what's going on, and what I see. And if I'm in the yard doing something and I get mad because he should be here doing it and I get stuck doing it. Think about the privilege and the honor that you had for sharing your life with your person. I tried to do that because, 25 years prior to Bobby's death, he was diagnosed with MS, and we didn't know, I had no clue how long we would have with him. Fortunately, we got another 25 years. So, you could keep a gratitude journal with something like that, just a way to help remind you how fortunate and grateful you were for the life that you had with your person. And studies actually show that cultivating gratitude improves physical, psychological health, fosters good sleep, and improves self-esteem, and increases mental strength, and enhances empathy. So remember the power of and. This is in the book. Remember the power of and. You can mourn the pain and cultivate gratitude for all the good things that were and are. You can feel torn apart and continue to be alive. Grief and joy, grief and joy can coexist. Next week, we're going to be talking about receiving support as you continue your journey. Here's some support too that you can help with others. Please keep these numbers in your phone, have them available. You could be the person to help someone because, like I always say, there's always hope. Thanks for joining us.